Hey YouTube, my name is Phil. I'm doing a quick video today on the Svord mini Peasant, which I've customized, and I want to just kind of describe that process to you a little bit. So, as you probably know if you're looking at this video, the Svord mini Peasant that comes with the walnut handles is fairly rough, and it's just a pressure fitting. It's not doesn't have any locking mechanisms, but it has a great blade steel, and as a result has a following on online of different customizations and discussion forums and whatnot. So at any rate, so I was inspired with some of the things I'd read and produced this and wanted to describe briefly how I did it. So I discarded the walnut handles that it typically comes with, and purchased, this is Amboina burl scales, I believe. I picked them up on Amazon for $7 or $8. They were a matched set. They were rectangular when they, of course, first arrived, and so I glued them together using a watered down wood glue and piece of paper between them, sandwiched between them, and used the walnut scales, the original walnut scales, to trace onto them, and roughed that out to within probably 1/4 inch of the finished blade size. And then from there drilled a small screw hole all the way through for, not screw hole, initial hole all the way through, guide for each of these two, and then countersunk the heads with a larger drill bit. So what I did was, rather than try to caliper and gauge the depth of all of that, I just did a single depth flush with the top, and then once that was done, sanded split the handles apart and sanded the interior to get the right width that way, rather than trying to countersink that depth and get that down to where that needed to be. So a couple of quick modifications that I did with this. So I did not buy a stabilized burl wood, which if you've tooled around with that, then you're going to end up typically with some punky wood as a result somewhere often, and then used cyanoacrylate or super glue on a couple of areas, just a drop or two, which of course firms it up, and then you can work the wood just as you normally would. So the result is a very, very stable wood, a very stable handle. I did a mustard patina on the blade, which I think came out really good, and don't know how well the video is going to reflect it, but it has a very, very deep mottled appearance, which I was really pleased with. So then when I was done with that, when you're closing it, it scrapes the blade, right? Because it's just a custom fitting. So I lived with that for a couple of weeks, and kept scraping the patina on the blade, which I was unhappy with. And so what I did was I inset some very fine felt. So I counter inlaid 2 pieces of nice wool felt in there. So, and I did that on a diagonal so that so that at the top they're flush, but then probably 1/4 inch in, it is actually extending and meeting in the middle. You can see, you can't see through there. So as a result, that gives a nice rest for the blade, which sits it in there tight, and most importantly doesn't scratch it. So as a result, that is going to stay nice and even. Another thing I did was I created a leather washer which you can see on this end, because ordinarily it's not there, and then these are tight, and the whole handle I found to be unstable as a result. So I created that leather washer spacer in there, so that the back is, basically a blade thickness even, and as a result the knife is much more stable in its movement. Let's see, the remaining things I want to do to this, then you can see I also, using a Dremel tool, I shaped this considerably so that this side of the handle is considerably thinner than this side. I don't know how well that shows, but and I was pleased. That came out really fairly symmetrical on both sides. For the finish on the wood, I used the combination of beeswax and olive oil. So there's no, that's the only finish that's on there, and brought it down to 600 grade sandpaper. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to inlay a mosaic pin material, just for appearances, like a 5/32 pin, and I think I'm going to do it somewhat symmetrically located here, around here in the middle of that. So that's available, different sources online. I bought mine, I think, at texasknife.com. There's a lot of different choices on there. I don't think I'm going to put it all the way through, because if you do, then I'm just not sure where the blade is going to sit. So I just haven't decided that yet. It actually hasn't arrived. So I may just drill that 3/4 the way through here and inset it on either side, just as a decorative piece. I wouldn't want to epoxy it in there anyway, because I want to be able to disassemble the knife. And the last thing I want to mention is this came with I believe phosphorus bronze washers, which didn't really fit. There was a 1/16 of an inch play between the washer and this screw here on the inside, so this bolt. So I replaced those as well with washers that I purchased also on Texas Knife. So and for those I went with a Teflon material that I don't remember the name of at the moment. So that's pretty much it. Oh, so just as I said, I don't want to pin that and epoxy that and commit the knife to never being disassembled. So it will just be for really kind of inlay purposes. So there you have it. It's not my EDC. It'll be kind of a weekend carry because of the the tang. It's kind of a specialty thing, but I really do enjoy it. My goal was to have a knife that looked like it had been kind of used on a workbench for 80 years, and I think I kind of accomplished that. So enjoy. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.